Thank you for tuning in. We're here now with two gentlemen who have been able to accomplish a relationship in our communities. Their program, the Family Assistance Resource Center Incorporated, is based in the Essex County environment, and they have an outreach service that provides a number of different resources for families and individuals impacted by residential fires and other natural disasters. It is very important that we identify with programs that do outreach in our community to help people that are disadvantaged. One of the most important things that has been accomplished, especially in the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, is that there have been organizations that existed and were very helpful in providing services to people who were disadvantaged during that process. And now we have an opportunity to showcase them here. We're very happy that they will be working with the Irvington government management here. And we're very interested in finding out exactly what does caring people, helping people really mean. Please welcome Mr. Roger Hinton, who's the president and CEO of the organization, and Mr. Ernest Williams, who's head of fundraising. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being a part of our program. One of the things that's really exciting about what you're doing is really focusing on areas that most nonprofit organizations don't find as a priority. Why don't you explain to us exactly what gave you the idea that this would work, and for how long have you been existing?
Well, in November, actually it was around September, October of 2010, there was a massive fire in Orange in which 100 families, middle-income families, were left homeless by this particular fire. And on that particular Sunday, I responded to the sound of all of the fire engines that were passing in the community, and I said, "Where is this fire?" And I went there, and the moment I arrived on the scene of the fire, the yellow tape that they put up to prevent individuals from going beyond the scene of the fire was there to prevent myself. But I was compelled to go even further. I went under the yellow tape because I wanted to find out what was happening with those families. And at that moment, I came across Miss Yvonne Eichner of the Orange Fire Department, and at that time, I guess we'd call her the person responsible for OEM. Mm-hmm. And Miss Eichner saw me, and I asked her what was the need. She said, "We need every hand we can get. Can you go over to the high school gym and assist them over there?" When I arrived at the gym that morning, we discovered that the security guard was there, and he wasn't able to allow people to go any further than a few feet within the gym itself. In terms of, there was a need for someone to go and open up the kitchen so that the Salvation Army and other organizations that wanted to come in and provide emergency food assistance to the families could do so. Also the need to get the tables out so they could put the clothing out. But because he could not get in touch with the superintendent nor the principal of the school, they were both in church, their cell phones were off, and he had no way of getting contact. But because I do a lot of volunteer at the high school, he knew me. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Mr. Hinton, can you go and open up?" And that's what we did. And immediately I got on my cell phone and started making my contacts. They have people bring in shoes and clothes for the family, the individuals who had impacted by this fire. Mm-hmm. A few hours later, a very short time later, the Red Cross arrived. And when the Red Cross arrived, they immediately had people who were not the victims of the fire leave the facility. Mm-hmm. But they allowed me to stay. And so I was there for 3 days. I actually went home, but I came back every day so that I could be there for some people who needed prayer, who needed other assistance. There were individuals who were there who could not speak English, and they needed someone to assist them in that area. So I would find other individuals who could provide that type of assistance. When we learned that the Red Cross would only be there for another 2 days and that the families would be placed in a hotel for that period of time, my next question was, what happens to the families and the individuals after the Red Cross has gone? And I understood that they would be given a referral and they could go to other agencies to seek support. Mm-hmm. At that point, I met with the pastor of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Dr. Kennedy, and we agreed to set up what we call an intake at their parish church house. They had an organization called CFES, Community Family Assistance, as well. And so we partnered that day and began to take these families in. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to get away from the red tape. We wanted to give them a hug to let them know that we cared. Mm-hmm. And that's why we say we are caring people who care. Mm. And as we began to take the intake, we found out how many bedrooms, how many people were in the family, what their detail sizes were, and shoes and things like that. And then we began to reach out to our communities. One of the schools which my kid attends is the Farbrook School in Short Hills. Mm-hmm. And the moment they found out that we were doing this support, they arranged a clothing drive. And for every day that I went there, they gave me a van load of clothes sometimes still with the tags on them. Things were gently used. And we would bring those clothing back to the center, sort them, and then provide it for the families. Right.
That's really one of the things that seems to be the purpose of why you're so important, that you looked beyond the limitations. Mm-hmm. And providing the opportunity to use the way in which we have put together our mission as well. Mm-hmm. It's like the fact that we care. Providing the assistance and support is part of your mission, and dealing with the idea of creating partnerships. Your outreach effort expanded beyond that.
Yes.
How did it really now represent the opportunities that people can be able to take advantage of today?
One of the opportunities that we had was we had people who were interested in supporting the mission and the vision of the organization. Mm-hmm. And that was to furniture. There are families, as they are moving into their new apartments, had no furniture, no pots, no pans, mm-hmm. no linens. And so people began to donate those items and began to reach out to their friends and to get donated items to donate to our organization.
So you have a facility now?
So we have a warehouse in Orange, New Jersey.
Okay.
On Joy Street, where we were given in-kind space.
Really?
In 2010. And the owner of that warehouse, the South Orange Furniture Warehouse, mm-hmm. Has been very supportive of our mission. And so even today we still have that facility where we store our clothing and pots, pans, dishes, and all the things that are donated. Mm-hmm. And those items that are donated to us, we give them to the victims of the fire at no cost.
How, in most cases, mm-hmm. Mr. Williams, are you able to create your outreach and your way of relating to the public and making them understand that this service does exist?
Right now, we're in the process of doing a massive outreach media campaign using the various social media activities, press releases, fundraising. In fact, right now, we're out of pocket funding this whole organization. We don't receive funds from anyone or any organization. So in order for us to get these funds, we have to make the community more aware of who we are, what we do, and that we are a not-for-profit organization. So we can seek major funds from major corporations as well as in-kind services. In-kind services is just as good as funds in most cases, because there are a lot of technical or expertise that we don't have, that we know there are people in the community possess those expertise, and we would like to get them to partner with us to assist us in helping those people that our mission is directed to.
You know, it's a real difficult task for those of us who are in this army of outreach services and helping people from a nonprofit perspective. Your investments are so valuable to us. And in most cases, individuals think that the investments are used so that we can profit from it. But actually, it's really used so that we can continue this outreach effort. The humanitarian aspects of it really brings a lot of encouragement. As I understand, though, just helping an individual who has been disenfranchised in their lifestyles because of a disaster is not your only goal. You're looking to do some other things as well. Can you share that with us?
Sure. One of the things we're looking to do in the area of entrepreneurship, we've been working with another organization in New York called the National Minority Business Council. And for the last 4 years, we have been allowed to bring about 12 female students to their annual Women's Business Conference in New York. And it's an opportunity for these young ladies to meet successful women entrepreneurs and to learn the ins and outs of owning and running a successful small business. The other initiative we've worked with, we've developed what we call the Culinary Arts Program, where we've solicited support from chefs who have agreed to come in and train our young people in the skills and with the skill sets that they have learned themselves. Just last night I met with the owner of a restaurant in Union, a Greek restaurant called Think Grill. And he has agreed to not only come in and do some specialized training for those youths who are interested in the culinary arts, but also to provide at the end of every day the food that is left over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so that's part of the partnership we want to have with Irvington, that they will be able to utilize that food for the families that are in need.
In terms of your marketing, have you been able to identify some of the shelters in the immediate area?
That's the process we're going through now. Past couple of weeks we've been going through that process. We have identified several shelters. A lot of people do a lot of things that we are doing, and some things that they're not doing that we are doing. So we see where that's a good partnership relationship. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. If there are organizations that are out there that are doing a very effective job, we want to partner with them to see how we can assist them and how they can assist us, rather than trying to start all over. But back on the culinary thing, Roger didn't mention, we're also looking to partner with the New York City School of, not New York City School, but the New York Culinary School, to partner with them because we want to design the program around their needs, where we can provide these young people with their basic culinary skills that they'll need. So those students who want to go further, they would already have the basics and already would have been networking with a major culinary school. And hopefully many of these students can almost automatically get enrolled into
really
the
good,
school by partnering with the school.
That's a unique concept
and having
as
them
well.
assist us in designing the program.
And may I add, in talking with the restaurant owners and those who are chefs, part of the training would be for them to come and apprentice in their restaurants as well.
Really?
Right. And some of the restaurants may end up in hiring these young people because they've already have the proper training, and they've also apprenticed with them, so they know the business. And so that's very key. It's one thing to provide training, but at the end of the day, if there's no job to match the training that you have, then you're back where you are. Right. And so that's one of the key things we want to do. I may add that our background has been in entrepreneurship, and back in several years ago, I took a group of about 21 small businesses to China for a 12-day, 6-city tour of China. And I went to China primarily to look at those resources that our entrepreneurs here in the United States could utilize in order to grow their business and to be more competitive in the marketplace. That was so important. And as a result of that 6-city tour, those entrepreneurs who went with us to China came back with contracts and relationships that allowed them to build and grow their business.
Really?
We see out of that experience that we now can do the same again by setting up what we call incubators here in Irvington and other places, wherein we can take a small group, train them in the entrepreneurship, and then they can source their products and even put private labels on their products and sell it via the internet and grow their business that way.
And I also have over 25 years experience as a business developer with New Jersey Transit. I was the director of their diversity business development department. And I also have my own business now doing business development called Alternative Management Consulting. And we take a startup business, or even if you've been in business 100 years, we come in and we do a complete review of your operation to help you get to whatever the next level is appropriate for you. So we bring up, between Roger and I, we have probably, I won't tell you age,
at least 50 years. Right, 50 years, right.
Experience working with businesses.
Small business
So we hope
development.
to bring those types of skills to this organization.
Sure.
If you're tuning in, we're here now with the members of the Family Assistance Resource Center, Mr. Roger Hinton and Mr. Ernest Williams. One of the complex things that really gets in the way of trying to be successful is that you're not a first responder. And as you shared with us before, you were able to gain access, and that's very rare. How have you been able to overcome that obstacle?
Well, interesting. Whenever there's a fire and we show up, the Red Cross knows who we are now because
So you've established a
we've established that relationship. East Orange, where we've been for several fires, they know who we are,
Okay.
and they are reaching out to us. In the city of Orange, I just recently completed the CERT training
Okay,
at Seton
good,
Hall,
yeah.
right? The basic training, and I'm going to continue with that training. And so I'm now an official member of the Orange OEM.
Okay.
So I have my green helmet and vest and all those
Right.
things, right? But it's not just enough for me to be trained. We need to train as many individuals in the community, because if we have another storm with the capacity of Sandy, and if all of the emergency services are directed elsewhere, we will need volunteers in the local community who are trained, CERT trained, to be able to respond in their local communities to the need of the community.
That's really
So that's
an
very
important
important.
factor. And then thinking about all of the other challenges that may exist, you are a 501c3, which gives
Correct.
you an opportunity when you do your marketing and your outreach to look for opportunities where people can make investments. Are there any opportunities that individuals can be able to reach out to you via the internet or telephone numbers or something like that?
As soon as the website, our website is down at the moment because we're doing some work on it. But as soon as our website is up, there will be a place where you can volunteer or you can donate funds for our organization.
Okay.
Presently, we're looking to do an award recognition type breakfast where we invite a lot of the firms and individuals that have presently supported us. Nothing elaborate. This is our first time out doing something of this nature, but we felt the need that we should show our thanks to those individuals and companies that have reached out to help us by recognizing their efforts, and hopefully that will inspire other organizations to come on board. So those are some of the things we're looking at doing to raise additional funds.
Now, the post office box and the telephone number?
Yeah, the telephone number, if you want to reach the organization, is 973-977-5196. Again, that number is 973-997-5196. Our email address is F as in Frank, A as in Apple, R as in Roger, C as in cat, N as in new, and J as in Jersey at AOL.com. Our website will be up again next week. I just took it down because we wanted to do some maintenance. But the website address is farcnj.org. Again, it's F as in Frank, A as in Apple, R as in Roger, C as in cat, N as in new, J as in Jersey, .org.
Well, we certainly are very happy. We here at We Care Partners have been supportive. We are the public awareness community resource, and we want to do whatever we can to raise awareness about programs such as yours. It is phenomenal that an organization like this does exist, and that it does exist with the passion of being able to help others. We want to look forward to doing whatever we can to support your efforts. They provide the following assistance and support for their mission: food, clothing, furniture, home furnishings, household supplies, winter coats, shoes and other footwear, and including toiletries. Just one question I want to also add. Does a person only qualify in the event that their lifestyles were interfered with an emergency or something on that level?
No.
Doesn't have to be a fire
Right.
or a tragedy in that capacity
No.
for them to come and seek your
Right.
support.
No. We had a situation where a young kid that I had been coaching in basketball, his mother died, like in July, and I didn't hear about it until sometime early September. And I was like, "Why didn't someone call me and let me know that this had happened?" And I was told that the mother had not been buried.
Wow.
And the reason why is that the family did not have the resources to bury her, and that she did not wish to be cremated. And so at that moment, I went to our church. Our church is in Scotch Plains, Evangel Church, and Evangel Church
And
paid
so
for the
what
funeral.
the point that you're
Right.
saying is that what you will do is work with the family
Sure.
to seek opportunities where they can find resources to take care of situations that they can't do themselves.
Exactly.
And it is a great opportunity for you to take advantage of their services and hope that in some meaningful way there will be an accomplishment made from your effort. We'd like to thank both of you very much for coming.
I'd like to thank you for having us. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
And on behalf
Thank
of
you.
Mayor Wayne Smith,
Thank you.
who encourages us to continue to be a part of this volunteer effort, we'd like to encourage you to not only seek this organization for support, but participate with them and help their effort expand, because we all know that caring people are helping people.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.